partisan radio stations, and I would say we're pro-partisan media outlets. So the radio are not the people who are sharing the false information. The people who are sharing, who are not.
Sometimes with clickbait, you will see headlines. The person will go to the substance of the matter and realize that maybe by government they were not necessarily referring to the executive. Sometimes through miscommunication. As I mentioned, there are a lot of things or findings I'm hearing today for the first time. And I can say that for my minister, because anytime it comes to our attention that there has been any violation of a sort when it comes to the safety of journalists, we are quick to reach out to the media houses and other stakeholders to see how best we can address it, at least to dissociate the government from such action and empower the people to seek legal redress. I think that is very important. If someone is acting based on impunity and then you give the victim the assurance that I am not behind it, I don't support it. If you wish to prosecute it, you have my commitment and support. They will be empowered to pursue some of these issues. But most importantly is the fact that for the past 1 year, we've been able to set up an office for the coordinated mechanism on the safety of journalists. As you heard from the NMC, journalists don't even visit the office to find out the processes and what is happening there, so that in case, in line of their work, there is any such violation, they will go there to seek redress. They don't even sensitize their colleagues and the general public about the avenues for redress. If you use your platform to educate the public that if I say something that you don't agree with, or if any of our reporters or colleagues say something you don't agree with, you can actually seek redress from the law courts, or even report to the NMC, who is more like a regulator and arbiter in some of these situations, so that people will not act based on impulse. People will not feel handicapped that because they don't have the platform to also express their side of the story with the prominence with which you made such perceived false publications, they take matters into their own hands. On behalf of governments and the Ministry of Information, which we reiterate our commitment to, safeguarding the safety of journalists and to continuously assure stakeholders and offer our support as to, based on some of these interactions and engagements, what more they expect from us and the executive to ensure that our performance on the recent press freedom rankings, which I mentioned earlier, that when it came to the safety of journalists, we scored some 62.2%, which is not bad in itself. But I think in other areas like our performance generally as a safe country, we can do better. It shouldn't be an issue of trust from the onset. When the office was set up, the office was staffed by the NMC. NMC is drawn from your people, your own people. They are regulators, from Mr. Yabwedwa Ebuafu to Mr. Bannerman to Mr. Sapon, to all the members. They are drawn from your people. People who have the issues of journalists at heart. People who have worked within this space for decades. And people who understand the core issues within the industry. If you don't trust them, I don't know who else you can trust. Because from our side as the executive, what we do is to provide bursary support, that whatever allocation that comes from the central government to the ministry, we are willing to offer some level of support for them to be able to run the office and keep it oiled. And even that, I have to use your platform to reach out to all stakeholders within the country and outside Ghana who have capacity to assist the NMC in terms of funding to run the office. Because beyond you walking to them, probably if they had more resources, they would have been more inquisitorial in their approach. When they hear something, they can even pursue it, even when you don't come forward willingly to report to them. So I call for funding for them to be able to run the office more effectively.